Okay, and welcome to another Sketchum tutorial. And for today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make one of these, which is a pillow bead. And there are lots of tutorials on YouTube which will show you how to make a pillow bead, but I've attached it to one of these little sort of keyring, mobile phone charm, lanyards. And I've had quite a few questions about how I've done it. And so I thought I would show you. And a few people have sort of suggested that I have pulled this apart and then strung it through the middle of it. And one of the things you'll find when you do make pillow beads is they are quite tight, and it is quite hard to get a hole to go through either the middle that way, or you can sometimes put a hole through if you were to drill a hole, you could get a hole to go diagonally so that you could join your beads together like that. But it is a bit of a faff. Generally, you try and get a hole through these sides here so that they can go together. But if you're making them quite tight and they're quite small, it's not easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I have done this. And basically, I'm going to show you from start to finish. I'm not going to show you the glazing. I'm just going to show you the making of it. I've done glazing plenty of time. Plenty of times before. So what I've got is 4 strips. So you're going to need 4 strips of paper or card. Now you can have more if you want. If you want to use thinner paper, you can do. This is quite thick. It is a bit of a card, so it's not really thin. So I'm going to use 2 strips of 4 different colours, and I've also got my little lanyardy thing. I'm just going to twist that back into place. And just to give you the dimensions of this, these strips are about 1 centimetre by about 27.5 centimetres, or in inches, that is 1, 2, that's 3 of those bits. I'm really rubbish at inches. So if that's 3/16, 3/8, I think. Anyway, that's the size. And it's basically the length of an A4 sheet of paper. So what you need to first of all do is you're going to need a little bit of glue, not much. I'm just using an old cocktail stick that I've had for ages, and you're going to stick your 4 pieces of paper together. So you're going to stick 2 together and then 2 together. So I'm going to stick my pink onto my grey, like so. And you want to make sure that the ends are nice and neat, like so, and that they join up. Just pinch it for a minute just to make sure it goes together, and join these together like so. Hold them in place, making sure that they are not joining together like that. You want to make sure that they are joining together symmetrical. And then what you need to do, just going to pull my sleeve up, is you then need to join these together. Excuse me. And you need to put a bit of glue here, a little bit more than the other one. Just going to move the glue out the way because you won't need that for a minute. And then what we're going to do is we're going to join these together at right angles. So you want to join them so that they are like a clock. So that would be pointing to 12 o'clock and this would be pointing to 9 o'clock. It doesn't matter if you've done 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock or that way. You just need them to be at a 90-degree angle to each other. Okay, so once you've done that, what you're then going to do is you're going to post your little lanyard through the bottom, through these strips. Doesn't matter which side you do first, you're just going to post them through. Now your lanyard is going to sit here for the whole of the making process, and there will become a time where you're going to have to thread them through. Thread these strips through it in order to keep it in place. So I will show you how we're going to do it. So to make a pillow bead, what you do is you wrap your strips round, and then you wrap them round the other side, and then you wrap those round. So We'll start with the first ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that in the right place. I'm going to bring this over. So once you get going, it's easier to get everything in the right place once you get going. So I'm just going to hold that out of the way, and I'm going to bring that back to where we were. Now, can you see how that's a little bit skew-iffy? Just make sure that you're coming out at the same. So you're coming out and you are still nice and straight. So I want to make sure that that's still coming out of that side and that's still coming out of that side. Okay, perfect. See what I mean? So that's coming out of there and that's coming out of there. It will be more important on the next one. So the next one, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it this side. And then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take the ends and post them through here. Post them through, pull them all the way, that's it, and wrap it round the back, like so. Can you see we've still got, and now we've done each of them once, it's easier to try and keep everything in place. Now if you want to at this point, you can have a little tug to get it nice and equal if you want to, but they will move, the cord within the lanyard or within the bead will move even once we've finished. Okay, so we've done this one and we've done this one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do this one again, and we're going to post these through. So you go around the front and you come around the back. So push it nice and flat and bring these up. Now you need to make sure that you're keeping both strips, or however many strips you've done, coming at the same pace, because you don't want one to be bigger than the other. So you need to keep them coming out. Just like so, and hold it nice and tight. And then this one is going to need to come through here, pulling them up, and once it's through, it's easy for us to go over and around the back like so. Okay, and then we're going to take this and we're going to go in the hole. See what I mean about once we get going, it's much easier. So again, pulling it nice and tight and bringing it up at the back, like so, keeping our strips together. Get these ones, post them through, like so, and around the back. And you can see that the strips are triangular, and so they are always going to be getting smaller, and that is what is creating the pillow effect, because they're always getting smaller. So what I'll do is I will just keep going with this. And you know if you've gone round enough, because I can see that. I know that I've done this part. I know that I've gone over the front because I've got white on the front. So I know that the front's done. So I know that I need to do this one now. And this is where it does start to get a bit more tricky, because we haven't got as much card going around. So it starts to get a little bit more tricky because it's a bit more fiddly. So, because you're holding not a lot in place. And this might be the point where you start to think, I think I might start and glue some bits down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a bit of glue, and I think I might start to glue pink down a little bit, just so that it holds itself in place a little bit. And then I can start and do the white stripe to go round. Pass it through. Again, just keep passing it through that lanyard. Apply some glue, stick part of it down, and I can see that I need to stick the rest of this down. So I'll stick my grey bit down, stick my pink bit down. I might even chop that a bit shorter. Stick that down. And then I can bring this up and over like so. And again. Some paper just literally sticks so well. So stick that down, stick that down. Might even break that off early. Get a little bit more glue, put it on. And there you go. Just need to take that little bit of paper off. It wasn't quite cut right, and there we go. There is your pillow bead attached to one of these. Now you could do exactly the same thing if you wanted to use some wire and you wanted to make some earrings out of it. You could start with your piece of wire, and if you had a long strand, I always find it easier to start with the wire in situ rather than trying to feed the wire through afterwards. It's entirely up to you, or you can use a skewer in place, but I just found it was easier for this to have the bead like that. And there we go. That is how you create these. So then you can go ahead and you can glaze them, and then you end up with these little cuties. That was just a quick little tutorial for you, showing you how I've made these really funky little pillow beads on a lanyard. And if you like this tutorial, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to leave your comments in the box below. And if you could hit the like button, we'd always be really grateful to you, and we will see you again for our next tutorial.